Hi, it's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media here in Rotterdam. I have Thomas Wiley from deugro in the studio, who's just finished a panel on modularization. Really interesting. You were with Floor and Microsoft, not our, well, at least Microsoft, not our typical panelist, right? So it sounds like we're entering a somewhat of a new era, if you will, of modularization. It would be great if you could tell us about that.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for having me today. So I lead deugro's modularization capability globally. And yes, it was very, let's say, interesting to take part in such a panel because what we're seeing with modularization, where it come from in the past and where it's going towards in the future, is very exciting at the moment. So particularly with emerging markets, we're talking data centers, life sciences, semiconductor plants, hydrogen plants.
Oh, hydrogen too.
Hydrogen plants,
okay, interesting, because I think most of us think of just huge modules for oil and gas.
Yeah.
You know?
So exactly, that's where the differences come in. So because these plants are typically not located next to waterfront, they're instead located inland where they need, let's say, to build a plant, where they need the data, where they need the semiconductors. Because of that, the modules need to fit inside the existing infrastructure within that country. Can be America, can be Europe, for example. So what we're seeing is that the modules that they're building are a lot smaller, but much more than your traditional projects.
Okay, can you give us a sense of the size?
So sometimes these modules can fit inside containers. They can fit on a 40-foot truck. But the module in itself, the challenge that you're faced with, that we typically have with traditional projects, which is how to transport the module, how to design it that it can be transported on land and sea, permitting, stakeholder management, engineering. All these factors are there, but their solution is different in how you approach with these smaller modules. For example, sometimes we're seeing that the module itself is so flimsy that the steel that you need to put into the module to maintain that its, let's say, structure during transport is actually more than the module itself. Preservation then plays a key part. I would say preservation even more than typical module projects. Preservation and how to protect each part of the module during transport is also a very key factor. So the challenge is not how to move modules, it's how to move them quickly, safely, at the scale and efficiently that, let's say, that is required. And from our point of view in deugro, we already see that the supply chain is under pressure. With LNG projects, with offshore renewables, with traditional energy projects. So we're just at the tip of the iceberg for these hyperscale projects. If these come in and expect to layer on top of the existing supply chain, you will have bottlenecks, you will have delays, you will have Amazon, Microsoft, Meta not delivering their data centers on time, for example. So we see that in order to fix that, the conversations need to be had early and investments need to be made into the existing supply chain.
Interesting. So what are some solutions to make the supply chain big enough, resilient enough, all of the things to handle this?
Yeah, so for every specific project, there may be, let's say, different solutions, but the important thing is having those conversations early on when the project is being designed, then you can understand where your bottlenecks are going to be. And we can speak about it confidently because we've seen it in offshore wind in the past 10 years. Once offshore wind started to scale, you had constraints in ports, you had constraints in vessels. So if we're going to have the same challenges now with the supply chain, The good thing and the advantage about this new industry is that you have predictability, repeatability, you have a long-term view. So therefore, partners such as deugro, partners of the industry, seeing that long-term vision, we can invest in it. It could be a purpose-built vessel. It could be investing in building a terminal. It could be investing in specialized transport and lifting equipment, and also just investing in the engineering and the personnel to manage that stream. So it was nice that we discussed it during the panel. I think the Microsoft gentlemen really understood that having those conversations earlier where logistics companies like ourselves act as that consultant was very important. And then we back it up because we have that understanding of the project, then we can make the investment. If the solution is not there, we will invest in it because we see that business case. That will be, in our view, the difference between this being a success or the difference between huge bottlenecks and delays and it being very challenging.
Well, it sounds like you have started those conversations and really are pioneering a whole new sector.
Yes, we are certainly having those conversations, and it's nice to be part of it. We take a lot of our knowledge and experience, the legacy from our traditional oil and gas energy projects, and we apply these to, let's say, the new emerging industries. And what is very exciting about it is we're having conversations with clients and they want to do things that have never been done before. And so you really, it's, wow, we can maybe make a difference here. We can put together a solution. deugro, traditionally, we're not an asset owner, but in case we see that there's a requirement in the market, we'll invest in an asset. We'll invest in the people. So we have example in the Middle East now where we are executing one of the largest modularized projects in the world, a sour gas project in the UAE, where we needed multiple barges. And as part of the solution, we have invested in building and purchasing barges, let's say. And we are now operating these barges ourselves as deugro.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have given us so much information, and it's really exciting. We want to keep up on this with you and, you know, follow how you are leading new projects, these emerging industries. It's very exciting.
It's exciting times, and yeah, we see big challenges ahead, and we're happy to be in amongst it, providing solutions to our customers and our clients so they can achieve what they need to achieve.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you. Lovely
Great
to see you,
talking
Leslie.
to you.
Thank you.